In this video, I want to talk about why the CS market is essentially the perfect long-term investment and how it's very difficult to lose money over long periods of time in this market. Let me start by showing you guys some long tier charts, and then we'll get into what specifically has done the best, what's safe, and all the other stuff like that. I'll start by looking at a high tier like the Factory New Dragon Lore, and if we go on to Price Empire, we could check the quote-unquote all-time chart, even though it's not all-time, it's just like the past 5 years. So in 2020, a Factory New Dragon Lore would run you about $4,000, $4,200, and you could see in the market, it always went through these hype spikes occasionally. I don't even remember what caused this one in 2021, but it happened, and then it consolidated in price, ran up more, consolidated, or I should say dropped back down, consolidated, and ran up more, and now we're going through the same thing again. Now you'll note, especially with these higher tier items, that every time after they have a blow off top like this, they consolidate at a higher price than they were at. For the Dragon Lore in 2021, it was at $5,000, just chilling at that price, nearly tripled in price, like 2.5x, and then suddenly it just consolidated at 8,500. Same thing happened. Now it's consolidating at like 11,000, and you might not even notice because it's at this price so long, but it's so much higher than we were at just a few years ago. And now the same thing's kind of happening. It's at 13,000. It's probably going to consolidate around these levels as well, probably much higher than levels at like 11,000, because with these high tier skins, for example, people just hold on to them for a very long time. They don't really care about the price. Obviously, when things go vertical over a short period of time, you are going to have some sellers at the top. But beyond that, a lot more people tend to hold them long term because they go from $8,000 to $11,000. That's a lot more people holding them between those prices. Same with the $5,000 to $8,000 initially. Now, we could essentially see this with any item in the CS market, and it's why the CS market is so strong. You've got items that either aren't dropped anymore, like the Dragon Lore. The only way you could get it is by trading up. You've got items like Phase 2 Dopplers that are in cases that are getting more and more expensive, and unfortunately, this chart only goes back to like 2022, but you could see $1,200 blows up in price, consolidates, blows up, consolidates at a higher level, blows up, consolidates at a higher level, blows up, kind of consolidates for a little bit, then blow off top, and now we'll see where this thing consolidates again. Pretty much anything you're looking for in the CS market is going to have this chart of just long-term blowing up in price. It might take a couple years, but that doesn't matter. If you're buying something at $1,300 and it's worth 13,000, you better be comfortable waiting like 2 or 3 years, because that's the best money you're going to make anywhere. If you spent 12,000 on these 3 years ago, you could buy a house with them now if you sold all of them. It's just ridiculous how good this market is. If you want to buy skins or cash out your skins instantly at a great price, check out skin.land, where you could also get a free $10 bonus on your first sale. Skin.land is a site I use to insta-sell skins myself. They offer incredible prices, and the process is very easy. Just make sure to click that link at the top of the description for your $10 bonus, or enter code CHF on the site. Then go to your profile and enter your trade URL, and you're all ready to sell and buy. Then select the skins you want to cash out instantly. Just click the skins you want to sell, select your payment method, either crypto or various bank transfer methods if you're in Europe. Then just confirm the trade the bot sends you on Steam instantly, and you're done. The entire process only takes around 5 minutes max, and receiving the money typically doesn't take more than 20 minutes for crypto. For bank transfers, it might take a few business days though. You can also buy skins for 30% cheaper than the Steam market value on Skinland as well. They have a ton of deposit methods, so whether you're looking to buy or sell, check them out with that link at the top of the description and get your $10 bonus today. Now, of course, things theoretically shouldn't be able to go up forever. Cases are going to get to a price where they're going to be too expensive to unbox, or people just aren't going to be unboxing them anymore, but I don't think a lot of items are at that point yet. Now, of course, we did just come off a hype spike. I'm waiting for things to consolidate and seeing what levels they're going to be chilling at to buy, but you could see long term in the market, everything is absolutely incredible and runs off really good fundamentals. Once again, either things are just, you aren't able to get them anymore unless you want to spend thousands of dollars on trade-ups, which not many people want to do, or if you want to spend a ridiculous amount on cases, and essentially the items are unboxable. Or not unboxable, rather. They are unboxable. You can't really get them anymore. $16 on the case, about a 1 in 400 chance to get a pair of gloves. Tons of different pairs of gloves within the case. Hoping to get a good condition on top of all of that, you're going to have to spend 5 to 6 figures on cases to even get what you want. It's not really achievable, and is why people are spending so much money on gloves, knives, older skins, and stuff like that. Now, with the glove case, I'd like to think there's not many people paying $16 to unbox a case, but if we look at the past month chart, there's still hundreds upon hundreds, probably just over 1,000 of these being sold a day. Like, this is showing by the hour. 40, 100, 28, maybe not 1,000. No, probably 1,000 a day. Yeah, there's some hours with like 200. There's over 1,000 of these being sold a day. You got to assume a lot of them are being unboxed. We could go back here as well. There's plenty of these still being sold a day at a $15 price point. Now, of course, we do have plenty of other knives and gloves and stuff like that in the game. The Prisma case, for example, is only $1.56, which is relatively cheap compared to other cases. People are unboxing this thing in mass and buying them up in mass as well. These cheaper cases, I should actually show you guys the long-term chart on this thing. Like every case in the game, it essentially just came from 3 cents. All the active drop cases in the game back in the day were 3 cents. And it's worth $1.62 now. Why were we not just holding our cases back in the day? We all could have been rich. But it just shows the point. This market is going up and up. As there's cash out sites, which you guys saw in the ads, that make it incredibly easy to actually turn your skins into real money for bank transfer, for PayPal, for crypto as well. It just makes the process so much easier. It's not like Pokemon cards, which, I mean, sure, you've got your limited packs back in the day that are pretty much non-existent, and the cards get really expensive. CS2 skins, they don't drop in condition. You can sell them for cash instantly, which is a huge plus, and there's always a massive amount of buyers at high levels. Since they don't depreciate, there's like no flaws to them. They're just an in-game collectible that you could trade. It's like what NFTs should have been, essentially. CSGO was the original NFTs, and they're actually cool. You could put some use to them. It's not a stupid picture of a fucking cat or monkey. They're cool. So yeah, there's a lot to say about the CS market, and as I pretty much showed you guys in this video and all my other videos, you should just look for long periods of consolidation. It's very possible that after this move, we could see something like this that happened during the initial CS2 hype. We could see this massive vertical move, some random miscellaneous bouncing around in price as people try to time the dip and whatever, and then maybe a crash all the way back down to pre-hype levels or somewhere near it. In certain cases, it differs because, once again, the cases have gotten more expensive, so it's most likely that people are going to be holding on to their knives for longer, or they're not going to be selling at the prices they were at previously because the cases got more expensive. They were more expensive to unbox. If you look at the player count as well, we've got over 1 million average players in the game. That means that at an average point in time, there's 1 million people playing. At peak, there's 1.8. You might see this red and be like, oh, the game is dying. It's going down. It's down 1%. 1%. That's nothing. Look at the player count last year. It's up 200,000 average. It's up 500,000 peak players. Look even further back. Look in the 2020s when we were initially seeing that hype spike that I talked about that I closed out of. We were half of the player count. Half. I think this game is going to continue to grow. CS2 was a massive move. They're releasing updates to fix the game consistently now. They literally just released an update that should have fixed the spray control. That was really weird. There's so much positive for this game. It can essentially, I think it could only get bigger. And in my opinion, I think the skin market especially could get bigger. The casuals can buy these. The competitive players can buy these. Anybody could buy these and sell them instantly. It's such a perfect market. So I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of long-term investing in this game, especially now where you should just try and buy stuff when it consolidates in price, and then hopefully it'll blow up as people start talking about CS skins again and everybody wants to get their piece of the pie. Some skins are going to stay at a lot more expensive prices, and minimal wear Dragon Lore is 10 grand nowadays. That is not too shabby at all. Howls are like 5 grand. Rubies are 15 grand, guys. It's absolutely insane. Also, if I recommend, or if I could give a recommendation, I recommend looking at a Price Empire for these long-term charts. If you're looking, try not to buy something that's super overvalued, because we could see a top like this in some of the the items that used to be cheap. A Butterfly Rusco used to be $200, and just out of nowhere, snap your fingers, this thing is 5x'd in price over the past 5 years. Just an incredible investment, and higher player count is always going to benefit that. The market is sick. It's absolutely incredible, but keep in mind we can't have pullbacks. Just because the market is up long term doesn't mean that something could not go from like $800 down to 500 over like a 6-7 month period, because that can happen, especially after a big hype spike. But I'm holding long term. I'm thinking years, not months, not weeks, not days. And I think that's the best way to approach the CS market if you want to make some money and you want to have some cool skins when you're doing it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out the sponsor with that link at the top of the description, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.